the elements of Indian Citizens Charter Program. So here we need to understand about what will essentially be part of the Citizens Charter. Of course, I'll show you exactly one original Citizens Charter of the Department of Higher Education. But before that, just understand what are the features or the elements of the CC program. The Citizens Charter, of course, you know what exactly is the Citizens Charter is. It is basically the entitlement of the service of the clients or the citizens, those who approach a particular government department or an institution. So it should be having a vision. This is important. Okay. So the Citizens Charter should start with a vision. What exactly is the vision of that particular government department? What is the particular government departments or the government institutions vision is all about, and its mission. So the first point or the first element of the CC program should be vision and mission. The second one is that the details of business transacted by the organization. So we have started with the India Post Citizens Charter, and in that particular Citizens Charter, CC, we have understood about the different types of services or the different kinds of services the India Post provide, isn't it? The speed post, the express post, the ordinary post, all sort kind of things. So details of business transacted by the organization, details of client served. So who can come to our department? Okay, who can come to our department? What are the eligibility of the clients those we will serve? The details of services provided, which we have already spoken one another language. The details of grievance redressal. Of course, when we provide some kind of service, there can be some kind of shortcomings. So there should be some kind of grievance redressal, isn't it? So what arrangement is given as part of that particular institution for grievance redressal? And we always, that is, that particular government department also provides the expectation from some clients also. They wanted, say, for example, if you approach the India Post, you will have to pack it properly, isn't it? To parcel or to in fact the speed post, you will have to pack it properly. So that kind of, say, for example, the envelope kind, all those kind of information should also be provided. So expectation from clients. And in case, if there is a failure, my dear friends, please understand that in case if there is a failure and if there is a compensation, that should be also provided by that department in the Citizens Charter. So the most important elements of the Indian Citizens Charter program is that the first one, vision and mission, details of business transacted by the organization, details of client served, details of services provided, details of grievance redressal, expectation from clients. Of course, the clients approaches you with certain expectation, but you should be having, the department will also be having some kind of expectations from the client, that they should be having that kind of arrangements for the perfect parcel or the transfer or in fact the transaction of any particular business. And in case if it is a failure from their side, and if they wanted to provide a compensation, that should also be mentioned in the CC. So this is what comes under, these are what coming under the elements of the Citizens Charter. Now, this is in fact the lengthiest. See, why I show you this example or in fact a real Citizens Charter is because I'm pretty sure that many of you might have not been even heard of Citizens Charter prior to starting preparation for the UPSC. So you would not be having that idea, even though you have gone, in fact, much forward in the UPSC preparation, but doesn't matter. We need to understand exactly how or what it is all about. So here is one Citizens Charter, which is of the Department of Higher Education, okay, under the Ministry of Education, and they have provided the address the Shastri Bhavan, New Delhi, and you have provided with the pin code, as well as the website is also available. So when you go to the website, when you go to the link, say for example, about us, in this particular link, you will see one column that is citizens charter. And of course, when you click it and download, you will see the citizens or clients charter. Fine. So what all services can you expect from the Department of Higher Education? What happens if in case of failure, if there is any kind of compensation, all those things would be provided in this particular document, so that the consumers or the clients will feel that kind of trust towards these particular institutions or the department. So that is the necessity. Yeah. So here you can see the here vision of the Department of Higher Education to realize India's human resource potential to its fullest in which sector? Higher education sector, with equity and excellence. I hope you know the difference between equity and equality, isn't it? Equity is taking into consideration the situation of that particular individual or group of individual, and then providing with some kind of necessities. Equality means you are equally distributing the privileges or equally distributing the resources. So what is more, in fact, forward kind of idea or positive kind of idea is equity. So in the Department of Higher Education, their vision is that India's human resource potential to its fullest in the higher education sector needs to be realized with equity and excellence. So this is what is all about the vision. So I have already told you that there should be a vision for these institutions, and there are missions also. Aim, what is or what all comes under the aim of the Department of Higher Education? Provide greater opportunities of access to higher education with equity to all the eligible persons, and in particular to the weaker and the vulnerable section. So provide greater opportunity of access to higher education with equity. So we does not say about equality, it is equity to the all eligible persons, and in particular to the weaker and vulnerable section. We wanted education to be universal in nature, isn't it? At maximum possible level, we would be or we should be able to, that is the Department of Higher Education should be able to provide access to even higher education. It's not about the primary or the secondary education. We are speaking about the higher education. Expand access by supporting existing institutions, establishing new institutions, supporting state governments and non-government organizations, civil society to supplement public efforts aimed at removing regional or imbalances that exist at present. See, what does it say? It say that, sir, we know that we have some incapacity. Say, for example, the Department of Higher Education under the Ministry of Education would not be practically or would not be capable to provide higher education in each and every looks of the country. It is not practically possible. So what can we do? We can actually help the civil society groups. We can actually help the NGOs. We can actually help those kind of private institutions or private parties to set up their higher education institutions and make education universal. So that is what is provided at the second mission. Initiate policies and programs for strengthening research and innovation, and encourage institutions, public or private, to engage in stretching the frontiers of knowledge. Promote the quantity of higher education by investing in infrastructure as well as faculty, promoting academic reforms, improving governance, institutional restructuring towards the inclusion of the deprived communities. See, you doesn't wanted to by heart all these things. This is just to make you understand what can be the mission of the Department of Higher Education. And even you do not wanted to understand that these are the mission or the vision of the Department of Higher Education, because all the charters, the citizens charters, usually have the same structural design or the same structural format. So that is not an important matter to deal with. But you should be aware of what is exactly the citizens charter. Now, our clients and stakeholders, I've told you that there should be list of clients that that particular department would serve, isn't it? So citizens of India, students and faculties of educational institutions, people's representative, anybody can, sir, anybody can approach the Department of Higher Education, isn't it? Say Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Minority Affairs, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, state governments, union territory administration, autonomous bodies, Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, grantee institution, United Nations Educational, that is UNESCO, banks, civil society groups, all are our clients. Basically, we serve the citizens of India, the students and faculties of the educational institutions, even the people's representative. So, in fact, there is a cent percent or absolute percentage coverage when it comes to the client details. Okay, so those who will be available with the service of the Department of Higher Education are those category of individuals. Now, what are the services or the service standards and timeline? Okay, services, service standards and timeline. Say, for example, release of funds to grantee institution within 25 working days, grant of scholarship to university and college students pursuing their education within 21 working days. So all those kind of, in fact, the services which will be provided by the Department of the Higher Education would be enlisted as part of the Citizens Charter. So for a person thinking, or for an educational institution thinking about allocating with a grant, would be having no confusion, because it is clearly indicated in the CC program that how much amount, within what day, it will be provided by the Department of the Higher Education. That will be clearly indicated. Now, the most important one of the CC program is the grievance redress process. Okay, the grievance redress process. And the Department of Higher Education has a grievance redressal mechanism in place, headed by an officer of the level of Joint Secretary. Very good, sir. So for public grievances and citizens or clients charter, you have given the email ID as well as the telephone number, the address, the designation, Sri Mrityunjay Bahra, the name even is provided in the Citizens Charter. Wonderful. So this is in fact what is the purpose of Citizens Charter: to make the personnel serving for that particular department as or at an individual level, as well as the organization at the organization level responsible. So this is what is the problem, or this is what is the concern of these institutions. The grievance lodging process, how should be it done? Visit the link, visit the website, register your grievance. That's it. Fine. So this is what you need to be understood regarding the Citizens Charter. The timeline is for the response also provided. Acknowledgement will be provided within 3 days. Immediate reply within 1 month. Final redress of all grievances within 30 days. All those kind of grievance redressal program or the grievance redressal methodology is also provided. Now, expectations from the citizens or the stakeholders. I have told you expectation from client is also one of the element of the Citizens Charter, isn't it? So what are the expectations from the citizens? Any query on the program, scheme or activity or the department should be clear and specific. Sir, the question needs to be very clear. Okay, the language in which you raise the question needs to be very clear. It should not be like here and there, here and there. No, it should be very clear. All stakeholders participating in any activity or event of the department should send complete relevant information in time. Proposal for release of funds must be timely and should accompany all relevant documents as mentioned in the guidelines of the schemes available on the website. So all those kind of expectations from the citizens will be also part of the Citizens Charter. Okay, so just see this. That is the only purpose of these original Citizens Charter which I depict here. So RTI, whether the Department of Higher Education comes under the purview of RTI, absolutely, my dear friends. So even that also can be understood. Right to information. Sir, how would we go for an information? So you have the link here, click it and submit or apply the RTA application. Okay, review of citizens clients or citizens or clients charter, that is also provided. That is, the date also is provided in the citizens charter. Okay, citizens charter shall be reviewed in September 2023. So the latest review was in 2023 September. So that is also provided as part of the citizens charter. So this is what you need to understand in relation to the CC program. And what are the problems? Now, this is important. When it comes to the citizens charter, of course, what we have seen until now, absolutely, when we were, I've just shown you exactly how two citizens charters are looking like. Or in the last class, in the previous class, I have told you, I have shown you the CC of India Post. Now it is the Department of Higher Education. Well enough, good enough, so that you will be giving or you will be having a good idea regarding what exactly is the citizens charter. That is the only requirement. Perfect. Now, what are the problems of citizens charter? Okay, the problems in the citizens charter. Of course, we know that the citizens charter in one or the other way enhances our right to information, isn't it? We as the citizens of India or as the individuals have got, in fact, a fundamental right of freedom of speech and expression, and for that you will have to be provided with a right to information, isn't it? The information is what is making you capable or equipped to express your freedom of speech and expression. Of course, that is a good area of citizens charter, but there are certain problems. Number one, of course, we know that it is having no legal backing. The most important one is that, sir, there is no legal backing for the citizens charter, isn't it? No legal backing. So that is very, very important. Yeah. So there is no legal backing or legal validity. This is, in fact, the most important problem when it comes to the CC program. Now, rather than that, or other than that, do we have anything? Of course, the bureaucratic mindset of those who are part of the government department or the government institutions, because they will be feeling that, see, even if the clients approach us for the service, and even if we do not render the service on time, even we will be getting the required salary, isn't it? The fixed salary will be provided for us. There is nothing like the target or those kind of things which is applicable for the private sector. So they will be having that bureaucratic mindset. Even if I do not perform, see, even when suppose you would have heard about a lot of people aspiring for the government jobs, isn't it? And they say that government job is comparatively very much easy, very much flexible in the sense that they can even take forward their personal activities in the midst of the peak hours of the performance in the government sector. So that is one of the most important attraction which many of them will be pointing out. So that kind of bureaucratic mindset is one of the problem. Okay, bureaucratic mindset. Why? Because it is not legally enforceable. There is no legal backing. So even the employees of the India Post will be feeling that, okay, fine. Why should I be in a hurry? I should be waiting. I should be enjoying my leisure time. I should be breaking 2 or 3 hours for lunch, and then I'll come back, isn't it? So that kind of problem is in association with even the citizens charter also, because citizens charter provides a mission, and that mission, if it needs to be accomplished, there needs to be a support from the bureaucracy, isn't it? So the bureaucratic mindset of the employees or the officers, number one problem. Number two is limited consultation. In the other words, what you need to understand is that when the Department of Higher Education or when the India Post comes with a citizens charter, they basically do not invest too much time to innovate or in fact to create a citizens charter. What they will do is that they will usually copy paste the contents from the similar background institutions or the departments, and that is the only way they will be providing the citizens charter. Why? Because there is a program which is citizens charters program. That is the only reason. Beyond that, they are not into the widest possible consultation. So the consultation is only limited. Sir, if you need to frame a citizens charter, then speak to all the stakeholders, okay, all those individuals, those who are experts in the higher education sector or the education sector. Let them provide their insight, okay, and on the basis of that, if you can come with a citizens charter, means you would provide only the practicality in the citizens charter. Now that is not what is happening. You will say that, okay, fine, we can, or the department can send the speed post within 24 hours, but it would be very difficult for extremely remotest area to send the speed post within 24 hours, would be practically not be possible. And such kind of issues are actually sorted out only once and only if you have widest possible consultation. The limited consultation is the second problem. No penal provisions. I have already told you, even if the assurance provided in the citizens charter is not met by the officer concerned, there is nothing, practically zero punishment for that person. So there is no penal provisions, and even there is no awareness, sir. No awareness. Sir, whom you are speaking about, sir? We the people of India, isn't it? We the people of India, sir, the citizens charter is for you. It is for you. But you do not know what is a citizens charter and where it is provided, isn't it? And what is the definition of citizens charter? We don't know this. So the awareness is another problem. Similar charter for different situations, isn't it? I have already told you, say, for example, a post office in Delhi, they can in fact provide for the speedy transfer of couriers or post, etc. But can you expect the same thing, same kind of speedy delivery or speedy transfer of these kind of parcels from the remotest area of, say, for example, northeastern part of the country? No, it is practically not possible. But surprisingly, what you see is that you will be having the similar charter for a post office which is in Delhi, that is the metro, as well as even the remotest part of the country, because they will just copy paste it, isn't it? Once the department is same, means they will just copy paste it. So the similar charter for different situations, that is one of the another shortfall. Technical in nature, technical. So even when I have shown you the CC, the Citizens Charter, you might have noticed that many terms are practically something which is not flexible for the ordinary individuals or the citizens of India or those who might not be having that education. Why? Because they are feeling that this is highly technical, isn't it? How can you read it and understand whatever it is provided in the Citizens Charter? Say, for example, a person who approaches the post office might be an ordinary person. He might not be having that good education. Leave the condition of the southern states. We are just speaking about the North Indian states. Or even when it comes to the southern states, of course, we can't say that southern states, there is 10% literacy. No, that is not supposed to be the exact scenario. But when it comes to the North Indian states, there are higher number of uneducated, illiterate individuals, and they will have to, in one or the other way, approach the India Post. And when they go to the post office, they see the list and they merely does not understand anything, isn't it? They does not understand anything. So what is the purpose of Citizens Charter then? So the highly technical nature of the information provided in the charter makes, in fact, the individuals unapproachable to the particular government institution. And of course, if it is private institution, private courier agencies, parcel agencies, you just imagine the condition that you reach there, you will be assisted by a person, isn't it? You just wanted to communicate what exactly you need to do. They will assist you. Why? Because you pay them. isn't it? Here also you pay them, but the private institution, their existence is their matter. It is government. Government's existence is not considered to be the individuals concerned who are employees or the officers there. So the technical nature is one of the another problem. Unpublished contact for grievance redressal. So there is no fixed structure for the citizens charter. So some institutions or the some government departments would not basically provide for the grievance redressal mechanism, isn't it? So that is another problem, because they does not want the grievance redressal mechanism to be worked out. Why? Because they does not wanted such kind of complaints raised against their particular institutions or the departments. So unpublished contact details for the grievance redressal is another concern. Now, are there any further problems? Yes, in fact, you will have to generate points again and again when it comes to the governance part. It is very, very crucial. Be it governance, be it social justice, be it Indian society, you should be developing points. The points will actually fetch you marks. Reasonable, clear-cut points, sharp and shrewd points will actually fetch you good marks. Lack of incentivization. Okay, lack of incentivization even at the individual level or at the organization level is one of the other problem. That is exactly what I have told. You are not provided with a target, and even you does not have any incentives also. Suppose you say, for example, clear out all those kind of pending works of even a colleague sitting near you in the government department. Sir, there is no incentive for you. There is no incentive for you. Then how would that be an encouragement for those who are part of the institution, isn't it? Incentive is very important when it comes to the success of an organization, because incentivization will make that particular personnel to work dedicatedly for that institution. And that is the reason why when it comes to the ethics part, you learn about incentives also, isn't it? In organization basically. So lack of incentivization at the individual level. So for the personals, there is no incentives, as well as in the organizational level also, there is no incentive. Fine. No special consideration. Sir, there are a different category of individuals. Those may be physically challenged. Physically challenged would be the illiterate would be there, isn't it? Blind would be there. Fine. So are you giving separate charter for these category? No, isn't it? No, you have only a single charter, isn't it? Sir, how can you fit, or how can you make it fit for all these set of different categories? One person is illiterate, sir. That person should be provided with the information through the communication medium, sir. That is not available. Through the communication medium means there should be a person to assist him, sir. That is not available. Physically challenged, sir. This person would not be able to climb the steps to your particular government department. Has he been provided with a charter in the downstairs? No, sir. Blind, sir. Can he be able to read even though he is literate? No, sir. Sir, this is another problem. Okay, no special consideration. Review and updation is another problem. Most of the citizens charter, and fortunately, the one citizens charter I have shown you, that is the charter of the Department of Higher Education. Of course, it has got renewed in 2023 September, and even after that, it is November, December, Jan, Feb, and it's March now. So it is almost 5 months. It's almost half an year since it has got reviewed. So the review and updation is another problem. It is most probably not reviewed and updated. The citizens charter, it is most probably not reviewed and updated. And the language, of course, is another constraint. Okay, the language, of course, is another constraint. Whenever we go to the central government departments, the charter would be available in predominantly English. Again, English would not be that easy access for those people who are from the remotest part of the country. and even those who are even educated. So that is another problem. Language is another problem. In fact, these are the problems you can provide as part of your mains answer when it comes to the citizens charter program. Okay,